Hi, hello, good morning. Welcome to today's session. And in the previous session, we were discussing the topic what did liberalism stands for. So the topic we started to discuss, that is what did liberalism stands for, and we discuss the topic in terms of politics, its demands or advantages, and even its disadvantages we discussed. So I revise, recall, and I will go ahead for discussing the topic, remaining explanation from the topic. So the term liberalism, it is derived from the Latin root word liber, which means free, freedom, independence, liberty. So this idea of liberalism for new educated middle class in Europe, they believed that liberalism is nothing but freedom of individual. They thought that, they accepted that liberalism is nothing but freedom of individual. And even they also believe that liberalism is also mean that equality before law for all the people. So this is the common belief of people in Europe, and politically some people went with giving their own belief, their own explanation about liberalism. So politically liberalism means it's nothing but a constitution, it is nothing but a representative government ruling by a consent or opinion, or it is nothing but a parliamentary system of government, or it is nothing but a government which is established to make an end of privileges formed or established by aristocracy or aristocrats. So politically the idea of liberalism, it went with highlighting or adding some of the disadvantages. So the disadvantages are, till 20th century, the idea of liberalism, idea of equality, the idea of freedom, it not even granted equal rights for men and women in all the political arena or all the political sectors. So particularly up to the Napoleonic Code, or up to the beginning of 20th century, under Napoleonic Code or Civil Code of 1804, so there was no any such provisions, means and measures granted, assured for women to take part in political affairs and political platform. She is not given suffrage right. Suffrage means right to vote. She is only subjugated, concerned only to their fathers and as well as their husbands. So up to this we discussed. So in today's session we will discuss liberalism in terms of economically, what does liberalism stands for? What does liberalism stands for? In general, liberalism stands for freedom, liberty, independence, and in general, liberalism makes that every individual are having freedom or freedom of individual and equality for all the people before law. Whereas economically, liberalism is stressing, highlighting freedom of markets, freedom of markets. Economically, liberalism stands for or stood for freedom of markets. Then to make an end, to make an end to restrictions which are mainly restrictions of restriction to movement of goods, movement of capital, movement of traders, movement of merchants. So then third one, liberalism is mainly believed in terms of economically to end trade barriers, or to reduce, to ban, to demolish, to abolish, to make an end for trade barriers. And also other than this, even many other important economic means and measures were given. Only the collective importance it is to achieve development. Achieving development individually to assure the rise of nationalism and nations unity. So liberalism in terms of economically liberalism is understood, believed and accepted that it should assure freedom of markets, and it need to ensure or it need to provide such provisions or opportunities to make an end, to reduce the restrictions where it is denied for the movement of goods and capital, traders, merchants, people from one part of Europe to the other part of Europe in terms of their economic activities. There should not be any such restriction. Restriction should be completely banned. So this restriction is not applicable only to few sector. It should be applicable even for movement, establishment and for taking part in all the kind of economic activities. Then most importantly, liberalism is mainly believed, stress to make an end of trade barriers, which are mainly highlighted, given importance during the times of aristocrats or absolute monarchy, which got established in different parts of Europe. So economically it is giving liberty and freedom for establishing, involving and taking part in all the kind of economic activities. So for assuring this in Europe one trade union or trade association got established in the year 1834 by Prussia. The trade union named as Zollverein, 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 for assuring liberalism in terms of economically or for economic. It is believed that there should be freedom of markets. It is believed that to make an end of restriction for movement of goods, movement of capital, movement of traders, merchants and others, and also it is believed that it should make an end to trade barriers. For assuring this, for achieving this, in the year 1834, a trade union got established, formed by Prussia, P-R-U-S-S-A, Prussia, in the year 1835, that is Zollverein. So Zollverein is trade union. It mainly established with binding Germans, Russians and other Europeans to bind economically, or they need to be united for achieving, for making the nations prosper, interest and to increase the productivity and also to ensure economic progress and development. So the common interest of Zollverein, it is to give rise for nations unity with establishing free economic system which can strengthen, which can give rise strength for national feeling. So I repeat once again, to ensure these ideals under liberalism in terms of economics or economically, in the year 1834, Prussia came forward, or Prussia established a trade union named Zollverein. In this trade union, German, Prussian and other European countries got membership, or they took active participation or active involvement, and this trade union, it made common ideals, principles which can be implemented from the trade union for achieving economic progress and economic development. They are mainly nations need to be united economically. Nations need to be united economically, and nation would prosper. Its interest would be protected by increased productivity. Means through the economic activities, production need to be increased, and it is also believed that the increased production, united nations economically may prosper, may give rise for national unity, and it is to make strength for economic system would strengthen the national feeling of different group of people from different parts of Europe. So this is the second factor we are discussing from the topic, the making of nationalism in Europe. So the first point we discussed, the rise of new middle class. Under that we discussed how the society got splitted, divided, and how the industrial revolution made possible for originating new social groups into working class and middle class, and how these two different group of people made possible efforts to circulate the idea of liberalism and the idea of national unity. And second factor we started to discuss, what did liberalism stands for, or the idea of liberalism. So under that we discussed liberalism in terms of collective opinion, liberalism in terms of political opinion, liberalism in terms terms of economic opinion. So after discussing these two factors, one more factor need to be discussed for the topic, the making of nationalism in Europe. The third topic is, or the third point is, the idea of conservatives. The idea of conservatives. So what is this new idea, or the new theme, or the principle that is believed by the revolutionaries? So about this we will discuss in tomorrow's session. After that, stay at home, stay safe, take care of your health. Thank you.